Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Y'all know I promised y'all a life update. So this is gonna be in the form of a story time. And yes, I am going to be drinking because I needed to set a story, y'all. Set a story. I need it. But yeah, I'm also gonna be eating some Chipotle. I'm starving. I just got out of class. Yes, I'm missing hella nails because I was trying to rush and do them earlier. But we're gonna do that later. Y'all gonna see in the vlog. I got all my nails, so let's not worry too much about that. And let's get into this life update. So I'm gonna rewind to last summer. I was working at a country club. I was having the time of my life. I loved that job. I was the only black girl. Well, one of the only black girls. The other one got fired. And the other black person got fired too. So it's crazy how all the black people getting fired at the same time. I ain't gonna say it was racist. But I will say that it was going into this slow season where the tips be scarce. That's why I really wasn't tripping. But I did love that job so bad. But they were going into their slow season, and I feel like they wanted to make sure their OGs was taken care of, because it was gonna get real slim around there. So I got fired because I called out no more. It had not been no more than 4 times I called out. And it wasn't even back to back. It was like in a span of like a couple months of me working there. Like I had been working there for like, I want to say almost a year. Like it was coming up on like 7-8 months I was working there. Because I was working there the whole summer and a little bit before like the summer started. So I want to say I was working there for like 7-8 months, and I called out 4 times total. Mind you, I called out before my shift started. Every time. And they just fired me. Like, that was the one job I was like, please, no, don't fire me, don't fire me. I didn't have a car at the time. It was 10 minutes away. The people that worked there were super cool. Like, they used to give me rides back home and stuff. Like, the job was fun. Like, all the people was nice. Like, tips was good. Like, I did not want to get fired from that job. But me being me, the last time I called out, I was fried. I was tired. And I was with my ex. And I don't know, I just wanted to stay. Like, when you in love, and you off them drugs, you just stay right here. You should lay right here, cause everything's okay right here. Yeah, so it was one of them days. It was giving bad piece. It was giving fried. So I got fired. And then my next job I was working, like I literally just picked that up out of like desperation, because I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like I done been out of a job, cause at that time I was out of a job for like a month or two, like 2 months. So I'm like, what am I gonna do? So I remembered I had went to this job fair, and it was like this babysitting app I can get on. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to babysit, and like I'll watch your kids, just pay me. And I seen some of them was like $17-$20 an hour. Like I'm like, okay, I can do this. So I ended up finding a family that wasn't that far away. By this time I had my car, so I could drive, so that was good. So I ended up finding a family, and it was a black family. It had 2 kids. One was a 1-year-old and one was 4. So I'm going in, I'm thinking it's gonna be sweet. Like, I know how to deal with kids. Like, yes, they can be hard sometimes, but for the most part, like, kids are kids, and I love kids. Or so I thought. These people, dealing with these kids made me reconsider, like, okay, maybe working with kids is not for you. So let me take the shot here. I'm gonna take the shot now. In 1 second. Cheers. And fuck them kids. And fuck them parents too. Stay hydrated. But anyways, so come to find out, the 4-year-old boy was not potty trained. He was nonverbal. Nothing wrong with that, but I'm watching 2 kids and you telling me you paying $17 an hour for a 1-year-old, a baby, and somebody who has special needs? The math ain't mathing, but I'm just like, okay, y'all didn't tell me this before. Y'all didn't put this on the app. But I'm going to just see how it goes because I really need the money at this time. Like, I really need the money. So, this little boy, he wasn't the worst thing in the world, but at first he was very hard to understand. Like, I didn't know what he wanted because he was nonverbal. So most of the time he was pulling on me to show me what he wanted or not telling me how to use the bathroom. And then I had to potty train him, y'all. Like, he peeing all over the place, pooping all over the place. Like, it was just a lot to deal with. Like, I remember, like, days where both of them would literally, I would wash them. Because, y'all, mind you, I had to wash them. They had me folding their clothes. They had me cleaning up washing out the tables, doing the dishes. Like, I was literally a nanny. Like, I was literally like a dang near a full-time mom, working 30 hours a week. I was with them Monday through Friday and sometimes on the weekends. Like, I was working full-time. So as soon as they got home from daycare, the kids was with me. Like, I took care of them. So boom. The mom didn't really like me like that for whatever reason. She was trying to hide it, but I knew she didn't like me. The husband was cool. He was pretty easygoing. Like, I communicated with him for the most part, even though that's weird. Like, how you the mama, but you don't want to communicate with the person that's basically taking over your role? Because she was barely doing any cooking, barely doing any cleaning. Like, y'all, this was not traditional. And it was Africa, so I'm like, what is going on? Like, why is the dad doing most of the housewife duties? Like, why does he spend more time with the kids than she does? Why is she never home? Like, it was just a lot of stuff that threw me off about her. But anyways, moving forward, what happened? So yeah, so I was saying it was days where I would wash them up, put them to bed, read them their story, and both of them, not one of them, but both of them would do number 2, like, in the bed. And I had to clean it up and wipe them down again, like, make sure it was clean. Like, it was a lot. Like, it was just becoming a lot. Like, I was already getting tired of it. I was already somewhat searching for a new job. At the same time, like, I don't know, like, I was like, bro, like, the money's straight. Like, and then it was paying me cash. Like, well, they was sending me Zelle, so I wasn't getting text on that. Like, that was just free money at that point. Like, so I'm just like, bro, like, what am I gonna find? Like, what am I gonna find better than this? So I'm just like, I'm gonna just ride it till the wheels fall off, I guess. Like, I was taking good care of people's kids, like, and they fired me. When they fired me, like, I took off. Mind you, I never took off a day. I never told them I couldn't come. I never was late. I've never been late. Never. And one day, I think I had took off within the same week, but it was like Monday I took off, and I'd be like, okay, y'all, I'm not going to be available on Friday because it was spring break. I needed one day off. Like, I had not been out of school since the summertime, and I had went right into the fall semester. So I haven't even had a break from school. And I was just like, yeah, I need a day off. I can't do Friday. They're like, oh, okay, Cool. That's fine. Thanks for letting us know. Y'all, do y'all know Sunday night they sent me a text message saying basically they no longer require my services because I didn't want to take out the trash. I was already doing the dishes. I was already cleaning the kitchen. I was already folding the kids' clothes. I was already doing enough as a babysitter. Like, what more can you expect? And then you want to add on, oh, can you take the trash? You want me to take the trash every day?
Do I look like I be taking out the trash?
Cause y'all already pushing it. And I told him I wasn't comfortable with doing that. Like, I'm not comfortable with doing that. That's not something we discussed. You're not paying me more. So I'm gonna have to politely decline doing that. So that Sunday, they sent me a message saying it was no longer requiring my services. So I'm out of a job. And now we'll take another shot. Because once again, for the second time, I'm out of a job. No income. So boom. Let's take a shot to that. Ugh. I don't feel better. I don't feel better. Stay hydrated. So boom, I'm out of a job again, and at this point I'm stuck. Like, I told you I was looking for jobs already because I was contemplating quitting or just adding on to what I was already making, like having 2 jobs. So I went to like my school's website for like a job search or whatever, and I ended up finding this online job. It did not pay a lot. But it was like you could work on your own time, and like you basically make what you do. Like however many calls you make, that's how much you get paid. So I was like, okay, this is sweet. I can do this on my own time. I could work from home. Like I really was pushing for a work from home job because I did not want to be around people. Like I was already like down in the dumps. Like I got fired from 2 jobs, struggling. Like I didn't want to be around people. So the at-home job was the perfect job for me. So moving forward, I'm working that job. Like I'm finally getting back on my feet. Like I'm finally feeling like a sense of freedom. Like I'm not, because I was at that babysitting job from like 4 to like 10, sometimes 10:30, 11. Like I was there all day. Like I only had, like, from the time I woke up to the time it was time to go to work to get myself together, like them kids took over my whole life. And I was in school and I had homework. Like I'm finally starting to feel like, okay, things are coming together. I got me a new job. Like it's easy. I can work on my own time. Boom. My birthday is approaching. I'm a fast forward close towards my birthday because I'm doing this for like 2 or 3 months, and then my birthday is coming up. So mind you, this is a week before my birthday. I really got to go back. Okay, so one random day a few months back, I'm in my apartment and somebody's like turning the key. Like they turning the key to like try to open my door. Like I hear a key going into my door. So I'm like, what in the world? But I'm guessing the key ain't working. Somehow the key not working. So I don't think nothing of it. I don't go to the door because I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. Maybe maintenance is trying to get in and not announcing themselves, because that is something that was going on at that apartment a lot. Like maintenance was coming in and they weren't knocking, they weren't saying anything, they were just busting the room. So I'm like, okay, maybe this is them, and I don't feel like dealing with them. And my nigga at the time was in my bed. We sleep, like we don't want to be bothered. So boom, I go back to sleep, and then I hear it again. Like I hear somebody like trying to open my door. So I'm just like, hello. Like I was like, hello, who's there? Nobody's saying nothing, but they're still trying to open my door. I'm like, hello. I go up to the door. I'm like, hi, can you knock, introduce yourself, like who is this trying to get in my room? I don't hear nothing. So I'm like, okay, this point I'm just gonna go back to sleep because I don't have time for this. So then they try to open the door, and I finally got the door open, and I closed it shut because I didn't have no clothes for what. I'm like, who is this? And I'm still not getting an answer. 10 minutes later, I hear boom, 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 boom. Open up, management. I open the door. It's like a lady and like 3 niggas behind her, like 3 men, grown ass men. I'm like, hi, what's going on? Like, what's the problem? Mind you, my room is a mess. My nigga in the bed. I ain't got on no clothes. Like, I'm literally like, like, what's going on? Like, I'm frustrated. Like, I was just probably in a coma like 2 minutes before. Like, what's going on? And like, you're not supposed to be here. You're not supposed to be here. I'm like, what you mean I'm not supposed to be here? Yeah, you didn't renew your lease. What you mean I didn't renew my lease? What do you mean by that? Because I have already started paying the new rent. Like the rent went up, baby. I recognize that rent went up. So what do you mean I didn't renew my lease? And I specifically remember renewing my lease. And I'm telling them that, yes, I did renew my lease. And they're going back and forth with me. No, you didn't. You need to get your stuff out of here now. If you're not gone by the time we get back, we're going to send you a letter. Like, I'm like, what is going on? Like, hold on. Like, what do you mean I didn't renew my lease? Like, can I wake the fuck up? Like, I'm like, what's going on? I don't know who to slap at this point. I don't know who to slap. Because, for one, you didn't knock, you didn't introduce yourself, you just busted my room and you told me, I don't have to do that. I don't have to knock. I can come in anytime I need to come in. And you, like, they basically was giving me so much attitude, coming in with 3 people, like, standing at the door, they all looking at me crazy. I'm like, what in the world? So they leave to go check, I guess, to check for my lease again. I'm in the room scrambling, looking at my emails because I know for a fact I renewed my lease. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. We just gonna see when they come back, whatever they tell me. So they come back, like, I'm already getting dressed to go down there because I'm looking at my email and I clearly renewed my lease. So I'm just like, let me go down there and like talk to them because this is not okay. And I don't appreciate the way they approached me. I don't appreciate the fact that they didn't knock. Like, I don't appreciate the fact that they didn't announce themselves. They just opened the door and didn't even make sure I had any clothes on. Like, I'm gonna tell them about themselves. And my boyfriend at the time came down with me. And he like, yeah, that's not cool. Like, we like need to say something. So I put on my clothes, and before I even get down there, the man, one of the people that was coming from the leasing office to tell me that basically they made a mistake. And I actually did renew my lease, and they accidentally reassigned my room to someone else and gave them the key to my room. So now I'm like, okay, yeah, let me speak to the leasing manager because that ain't it. I'm not, no. So I speak to her and I'm just like, hey, like, I don't know what kind of mess y'all got going on, but it looks a hot ass mess in here. Like, y'all got the files everywhere, trash everywhere. Like, this room looks a mess. And I can see why y'all couldn't find my lease because look at how y'all got it in here. Like, this is not okay. For one, y'all didn't announce yourself when y'all came in. Y'all knocking and busting in like somebody owe y'all some money. Like, I'm telling her just like this, like, y'all made me uncomfortable. Like, you got 4 people behind you, and then y'all making a mistake. Like, y'all basically just made something up and reassigned my room to someone else. Like, that's not okay, and I need to be compensated. I need to be compensated for that inconvenience. So we talking, she trying to like go back and forth with me a little bit. So my nigga at the time chimes in and he goes off on her, like off. I did not tell him to do that. And that's where stuff got bad. So I'm just like, she's just like, I don't want to talk to him no more. Tell him to get out. Like, I'm done talking to him. That's how bad it was. So I'm like, okay, just go. Like, I don't need your help anymore. You're not helping the situation. Like, you're not gonna get us no money. Like, this is not like, no. Let me just talk to her by myself. So I ended up talking to her by myself, and we ended up negotiating. She was trying to give me something under $100. But like, no, it needs to be $100 at least at the minimum for that, which I stress y'all just cost me. So she was just like, okay, yeah, we will. But and just to let you know, like, we do have a guest policy. I don't know if you was trying to hide your boyfriend or what, but I don't know how long he's been staying there. But just make sure he's not violating the guest policy. So I'm like, okay, noted, because before she wasn't saying nothing about it. But after he went and snapped on her, now she got something to say about that. So, boom. That happened. I got the $100. In my mind, I win, I guess, because, like, y'all was wrong. And now y'all got to pay. So, fast forward. This story is getting so long. I hope y'all end up watching it. I hope it's interesting. But cheers, because this is where it's about to get real messy. So, boom. The leasing manager is now obsessed with me. Every time I go pick up a package, every time I go to pay my rent, she somehow finds a way to be right in the same room where I am. Mind you, her office is way in the back somewhere. Somehow she's always at the office, always in the parking lot. Every time I see her, like, oh, how are you doing? Like, oh, do you need help with your package? Like, I'm just like, no, thank you. Like, I'm good. Like, that's fine. Like, no, I'm okay. Like, just trying to avoid her, like, all costs. Because, like, it's getting weird. Like, every time you're trying to have a conversation with me, like, we cool. We're not cool. Like, I don't have no beef with you, but we're not cool. So I'm just kind of just brushing her off every time. And mind you, my nigga at the time was basically staying with me every day. Like, he was there every day. Like, spending the night every night. Like, we was together every time. So randomly, I don't know if one of my roommates snitched, but I was just like, none of my roommates could have snitched on me. None of my roommates could have snitched on me. So I'm just like, how in the world would she know that he was still there staying with me? Because my roommates was having guests a lot. Both of them were smoking. I never suspected them. One roommate I did have an issue with, but it was like a minor issue. Like, I told her to take her trash out because she never took her trash out. And it had been weeks and weeks and weeks, and it's the same trash just sitting in there. So I threw the trash can away. Like, you clearly not taking the trash out. It's full, so you're not using it. So I'm gonna just do you a favor and throw the whole trash out away. Because I had already been taking out her trash. Like, I took her trash out one time before that, and the second time she did it, it was like back to back. So I'm like, okay, she clearly don't take out trash, so she don't need a trash can. She don't need a trash can because, yeah. So I threw her away. So maybe just maybe she could have snitched on me, but I'm not sure. But I do know that my nigga at the time was in a computer lab one day. And somehow she just so happened to show up in the computer lab. I don't know if this lady is like watching the cameras on her free time during her lunch break, like just eyeballing it. Like, there's no way. Like, out of all the people that come in this little computer lab room study area, you just happen to spot out my nigga. This is what I mean by she was stalking me. She had to be watching the cameras, watching the camera by where you enter my apartment. She had to be watching, because how would you know when he was there? So basically, she came in there and told him, like, hey, you can't be in here without your without the resident that lives here. Like, it's residents only, and if you have a guest, then that's the only way that anybody can come in here, is if they're a guest of the person and they're with you. So I'm like, okay, cool. Then I get an email saying I violated the guest policy. I'm like, how would you even know that he's with me? Because he never mentioned my name when y'all spoke on me being the person that was the guest. Like, we could have broke up. We could have, like, anything could have happened. Like, how do you know it was me? So, I gotta take another shower. This is where shit started getting crazy. Like, how do you know it was me? How do you know that he's my guest still? Like, that happened, like, what, 1 month, 2 months prior? Like, how do you know that we're still together? What do you mean I violated the guest policy? What do you mean you give me a warning? I pay rent, bitch. Like, what are you talking about? You don't pay my rent. I'm grown. What do you mean? What is a guest policy? So I just completely ignored that. Once again, fried, y'all. Do not be fried. Don't be fried. Stop it. Quit it. Don't do it. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I just ignored that. Then they ended up having an event on at my apartment complex. Like, it was just like this like poker night or something like that. And I told him to come with me or whatever, or come, because that event was not residents only. They were trying to get people to like live there or like tour, stuff like that. Like, just try to do like little fun events so people could see like how, like, things that would happen if you started living there, basically. So they had a poker night. Y'all, why did my nigga at the time win the raffle? He won the raffle. The raffle was for like Lululemon. I don't know how he ended up winning the raffle. Out of all people that could have won the raffle, out of all the people that were there that night, he wins the raffle. So she's there, she sees him. I already saw her at the event. I didn't speak because I don't, like, we're not friends. Like, she looking at me, already looking at me sideways before he even gets there. She's looking at him sideways when he gets there. Like, she's mad. She's big mad because he won the raffle. I feel like that's where she started getting really salty. So he wins the raffle. They take his picture, and then what happens after that? They take his picture, and literally, like a week later, I get another notification saying I violated the guest policy. Mind you, the person has to be staying for like 3 or 4 consecutive days, and mind you, when I'm getting these notifications, they're like weeks out. Like, I'm like, how? Like, what? How would you even know that he's been staying here longer than 3 days? How would you know that? When you're going based off you seeing him at an event, you seeing him in the computer lab, and those weren't even days that were close together. Like, that was like last week, and then the poker event was like this week. So I'm just like, bro, like, the math ain't mathing. So unless you watching me on this camera and watching us go up these stairs, watching me like a hog every night, like, you're not accurate. So I'm thinking that she was watching me this whole time. So one day, I need a shot, y'all. One random day, we waking up. We waking and baking, baby. That's what we did. So soon as we done waking and baking, we get a random knock on the door. Like, boom, 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 boom. Management. Y'all, I'm fried. I am fried, y'all. Like, when I say I was fried, like, I'm like, oh shit. Cause mind you, I had already told this lady I did not know my nigga. I didn't know who he was. I don't know who she's talking about. I don't know his name. I'm not dealing with anybody no more. Like, I don't know who you saw, but I don't know that man. The man is in my room right now, and we're fried. So, boom. She like open the door, and I'm like, okay, bro, cause I had already heard somebody coming up the stairs loud. Like, I heard multiple people. So before they even knock, I'm like, go in the room. Go in the bathroom. Go in the bathroom. I'm telling him, go in the bathroom. Take the stuff with you. Like, I grab the tray, give it to him. I take the stuff with you. So he grabs the tray, he goes in the bathroom. They open the door. She like, oh, she come in. She like, oh, have you been smoking in here? Mind you, this is like the inspections was like 2 weeks prior. Like, so inspections is over. They should have already did my inspection There was no reason for her to come into my apartment unless somebody was like, hello, hey, she's smoking again. Like, hey, he's over here again. Like, somebody, like, she had to been watching. Somebody was on the inside giving her the scoop. It had to be, because it's no way. I just realized I wasn't looking at the camera this whole time. Oh, well, y'all. Anyways, it's hard to look at the camera. So, basically, she asked me if I was smoking, and I said no. Because, what you mean was I smoking? What do you mean? No, it's everybody in this apartment smokes. So no, I wasn't smoking. Maybe that smell is coming from upstairs. Why you minding my business? You need to be worried about who's selling drugs in this apartment complex, because that's where I got it from. You need to be worried about the other people that be having guests every day in here. Why are you worrying about little old me? Because you're mad because my nigga snapped on you 3 months ago, 4 months ago, however long it was ago. You're mad. So, boom. So I'm like, no, we haven't been smoking. And she looking around and looking around. Like, she like, okay, well, I'm standing in front of the bathroom door. She like, well, we need to get in the bathroom. We need to look in there. I need to see in there. So, boom. I'm like, no. Like, I ain't say no. But I'm like, what you need to go in there for? Like, what you need to go in there for? Like, what is this? Like, what is this? Because inspections are over. So I'm not understanding why exactly you need to see my bathroom, and I don't feel comfortable with you going in there right now. So she like, well, it's either you gonna let me in there or I'm gonna go in there anyway, or because I'm gonna get in there however I need to get in there. So I'm like, okay, get in there then. I'm standing in front of the door, I'm like, what's up? What's up? So, boom, she like, all right. She got her phone ready, so I'm like, okay, she gonna call the police. Like, what's she gonna do? She gonna try to like bum rush me inside? Because I'm not standing my ground. I'm standing my ground. Like, I'm standing on big business. So, boom, he just decides to come out. Like, he just comes out of the bathroom. I'm like, what the? Mind you, he comes out with the tray. He didn't flush nothing. He didn't get rid of nothing. He just like, he just gave up. Like, I'm like, no, you didn't. No, you did not. Do you know what this means? She sees the tray. She's like, oh, that's all I need to see. She's trying to take pictures and stuff. I'm like, hell nah, give me that. Give me that. Man, I take and do what was supposed to be done with it. I get rid of it. Because, boom, they wasn't going to find nothing if he didn't come out of that room. They could have called the police. The evidence could have already been gone. Like, anything. Like, that lady was literally bullying me and stalking me. So she ends up saying, oh yeah, that's all I needed to see. Yeah, you're gonna be getting kicked out of here. Just to let you know, they're gonna be sending you a notice and you gotta leave. Mind you, I had already paid the rent. I had already paid the rent for that month. It was like $900 something. My birthday was like literally a week from that day. I just got started at my new job, and I don't know, like at that point, that's where rock bottom hit. I gotta take a shot for that. I did take a shot. So at this point, I'm already crying because what evidence do you have? Just because he showed up to the freaking event that was for everybody, just because he snapped on you gonna evict me? Now this is another black woman. This is a salty ass, jealous ass, big bag ice cream cone shaped body bitch, fake ponytail ass bitch. You fucking stank ass, no life, watching me on the cameras, want my life, want my nigga ass bitch. Like, you really wanted my life, and you was really jealous that whole time. Like, but at this point, I'm crying because I'm just like, bro, I hate the fact that somebody can have this much control over my life. I don't have nowhere to go. Like, I'm in school, like I'm making good grades still on top of me having to work, and you telling me you finna kick me out of my apartment? I ain't even bothering nobody. Never, not once had a noise complaint. Lived here for multiple years before you even started working. I was already living here. You telling me you just gonna kick me out and I got 3 days to leave? Like, I was so mad. Like, I was considering sending her the nastiest email of her entire life. Like, it was not going to be good for her. Like, I wanted to hurt her at that point. But at this point, I'm crying because it's like, it's nothing else I can do. It's nothing else I can do. So, boom, I go down there to try to talk to her because she was like, yeah, you can come talk to me or whatever. Like, we can see, like, like how we gonna move from here. So I'm like, okay, I'll come down there. I come down there and she like, you didn't want to talk to me when I was up there. So I've already sent the letter out. Like, you're out of here. And I'm like, bro, what am I supposed to do? I'm in school. I just started back working. I just lost my job like not too long ago. My birthday coming up. Like, I'm telling her this. She was just like, oh, I'm sure that man can help you figure that out. I'm sure that guy, that boy you're with, he can help you figure that out. And I'm like, okay, bet. Say less. Say less. Say less. And that is the story time of how I got kicked out of my apartment. By a hating ass bitch. Y'all ain't ready for this next story time, y'all. The next story time is gonna be the roommate from hell. The roommate from hell, yes. Back to back to back, y'all. When I say it was always something, and I'm never saying it was always something there, because every time I say it's always something, something happens. Something. It's another something that's happening. And this right here, this gonna shake the tables. This is gonna be worse than this story time. And if you think it don't get worse than this, it's gonna get worse. So y'all stay tuned for part 2 of Life Update. I love y'all. Thank you for watching. I know this was a long video. It's gonna go up tonight. I'm editing it the same night that I'm recording it and I'm posting it. So I love y'all. Can't wait for the next video. And